What's up, guys? Big Papa Drock back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And yeah, guys, it's been a bit, huh? I have been slacking on getting y'all some content, but for very good reason, which we'll get into in a second. But first and foremost, hope you're having a wonderful start your 2026. I am still in LA currently. I'm headed back to Florida finally this week. It's been a long, basically 6 months out here for me working on my health. Obviously, many of you all know a lot of the stuff that's going on, but want to share the good stuff where we're still 75 pounds down, a much lighter, thinner Drock. But unfortunately, still dealing with a lot of health issues that I just don't have an explanation for yet. So I've been doing lots of blood work and gut biome tests and even genetic testing. Basically, anything you can think of to try to figure out whatever the hell is wrong with me, I am doing it. Whether that's therapy, whether that's more tests, more blood work, and I just have to hope that they find an answer. But the biggest reason why I haven't been creating as much content is because of that. It is genuinely, for whatever reason, difficult for me to sit here and talk about anything. I guess just sitting down and talking for some reason is hard, and I don't know why. And it is frustrating and driving me nuts because if there's one thing I've learned through these last several months, when you have any kind of health issue, it just really makes you appreciate your day to day. And even when life isn't going the best, when you have your health, you can make it work, right? When you don't, it's a very different feeling. So I just wanted to share that quick update with you guys. Some of you have asked in the Discord. So wanted to give you a heads up on that. By the way, if you're not in the Discord, make sure to join. We are doing occasional giveaways in there for stuff and raid. So check the link down in the description for my Discord. But just wanted to give you a quick update and let you know what was going on with me because it has been a little bit since I've made content. And it's not because I don't want to. I very much want to. I'm going to do my absolute best this week to get at least 2 or 3 videos out. But like I said, for whatever reason, I sit down to record. And by the end of this recording, I am going to be completely destroyed for the next several hours, feeling awful, which again, I don't get. I used to talk for 16 hours a day doing streams, and that's where we're at here. But the one thing I will share is I have had some blood work done recently that is starting to show some things that are not normal. And so I'm hoping that that leads to some type of revelation of, this is the problem. This is what you need to fix. And when and if that happens, I will share it with you guys. But anyway, all of that aside, let me know in the comments down below how you've been doing, what you've done so far in the new year. Tell me one of your resolutions. I never made a video about this. We're pretty much too far out to do it, but I want to know anyway. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys have been up to. I really do enjoy reading them, and it brings a big smile to my face when I'm doing all the crazy stuff in my life. But all that aside, this is not a video about Drock and his health problems or whatever's going on. This is a video about I believe, one of the newest mythicals. I think they've introduced one since she's been in the game. But I happened to pull recently the Joan the Luminant mythical, and I wanted to do a showcase on her and show you guys what makes her so awesome. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a little Joan the Luminant showcase. So without further ado, we got a Bannerlords mythical support plus a mythical attack, the double form. You love to see it. Very sexy. Character work I think looks cool. I look at this champion and I think Joan of the Arc. Like, I don't know about you guys, but that's the first thing that comes in my head. Joan of the Arc. I love history, so I was really excited to pull this character. Now, interestingly enough, her reviews are good, but they're not like phenomenal. And what's interesting is that I've been using her like in Grim Forest. I think she's really damn good. Now, I haven't fully tested her, and I haven't used her a ton in Arena, to be completely fair, but I don't know, man. I feel like these are actually low, at least from my experience. So we'll figure it out. Anyway, first form, support, A1, Sacred Lance, attacks one enemy, heals all allies. The value of the heal is proportional to their resistance and 5% of their max HP. Has a 35% chance of applying a buff spread effect, taking one random buff from each ally and placing it on all allies. And that's a damn good A1 for a support-based character, right? You know what I mean? Like, you're healing, you're spreading buffs. Really, really, really cool. Joan is also the first champion in the game, by the way, guys, that has damage based on attack and resistance, which I think is really unique and can potentially be really cool, though we will talk about some of the drawbacks in a bit. But first form, A1, looking really good. Then we got the A2, Symbol of Hope. removes all debuffs from all allies, then places a 50% increase attack buff and a 50% increase resistance buff on all allies for 3 turns. Also fills the turn meters of all allies with 15%. So cleansing, increase attack, increase resistance, not the necessarily most useful in most areas of the game. Certainly not the most useful in PvP. But hey, you know, not a bad thing. And she does get a turn meter boost. It's not a huge one. Like, I wish this were a little bit larger, like 20 or 25, because then you could legitimately use her as a speed booster. But still, not bad. Not bad. The A3, Faith Restored, revives a single ally with 75% HP and places an unkillable buff on that ally for 2 turns, then activates an instant turn effect on the revived ally. Hell, man, this is a hell of a good revive, guys, right? 75% HP plus an unkillable buff plus an instant turn, books down to 3 turns. I think this is one of the better revives in the game. Like, yes, it's only one ally, but an instant turn effect can completely change a battle. And a 3-turn cooldown for a revive with this much HP and an unkillable buff, not bad at all. So her A2 also books down to 3 turns. Overall, her first form kit is really, really good just by itself. Let's take a look at the passive. Eternally Adored. Passive effect. Increases all allies' damage against enemies whose resistance is lower than theirs by 15%. If there are multiple champions in the team with a skill, only one will activate. The skill will not activate duplicates, blah, blah, blah. And then you have an active effect. Whenever an enemy is revived, instantly activates the Faith Restored skill on a random dead ally. If no allies are dead, instantly activates the Symbol of Hope skill instead. If there are multiple champions, only one will pop. Dude, that's a pretty damn good passive too, right? You're either guaranteed to get a revive if someone else on the enemy team is revived, and also that would come with an instant turn. So again, screwing enemy teams immediately, or you're guaranteed to get a cleanse with a turn meter boost. I mean, overall, you know, I could legitimately see you using Joan just as a support. Forget the second form entirely. I think she's a really good first form. Is it as good as someone like Galathier? Probably not. I think Galathier is just a tier above with this first form. But let's take a look at the second form and see what she does there, because this has been my favorite form to use recently, at least in PVE. So she turns into a demon knight, whatever, angel. I don't know what the hell this is, but again, floating swords, looks cool, fiery swords, and she is attack-based in this form, but she still gets a benefit from resistance. So let's take a look here. The A1 attacks all enemies. This attack deals single target damage to each target individually rather than AoE damage. That's great for Hydra. Whenever this champion counterattacks, it increases the ignore defense effect of the skill by 5%, stacking up to 25%. So it could be a really nasty hitting A1. Deals double damage when counterattacking. Damn, that's a really good A1 if it hits hard, right? Like the fact that you're getting ignore defense increased every time you counterattack, the fact that you're dealing double damage when you counterattack, the fact that you're doing AoE instead of AoE damage, individual damage, which is great against champions like Duchess and Arena. I mean, that's a damn good A1. That is a solid A1. Take a look at the A2. Pierced by Light. Attacks all enemies. Before attacking, steals 25% of each enemy's turn meter. This effect cannot be resisted. The damage inflicted by the skill increases by 35% against enemies whose resistance is lower than this champion's, then places a block damage buff on this champion for 2 turns, and this books down to 3 turns. And block damage is everywhere in Arena. My God, they love putting block damage. But again, this sounds like a really solid A2. AoE hit, guaranteed turn meter steal, or I should say it can't be resisted. Some champions, of course, are immune. And then also a damage boost as long as you have more resistance. And again, attack and resistance is how you increase your damage. So really good sounding A2. Let's go to the A3. Seraphic Swoop. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Will ignore shield, block damage, and unkillable buffs. Oh, baby. That is huge. Block damage, like I just said, is everywhere. It's a triple hitter, so this could be a potential nice killer. It ignores unkillable buffs. Massive. Will also ignore 35% defense against targets whose resistance is lower than this champion. So you have to build this champion with resistance, or otherwise you're not going to get that. And then if the target is killed and has lower resistance to this champion, places a block revive debuff on them. If the target isn't killed, grants an extra turn instead. So this ability is also fantastic, right? Like block revive, potential extra turn if you don't get the block revive, ignores shield, block damage, unkillable. This is a damn good ability, and it's a triple hitter, and it books down to 4 on the cooldown. Really, 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 really good kit so far, in my opinion. A phenomenal kit. Now, you have to have resistance, and I think this is maybe why her Her ratings are a little bit lower than I think. We'll talk about that in a second and how to build her. But still, so far the kit's great. And then let's take a look at the passive. Decreases the damage this champion receives from enemies whose resistance is lower than this champion's by 15%. Places a protected counterattack buff on this champion for 1 turn at the end of their turn. Dude, that's huge. You're always going to be counterattacking with this champion. With that buff, it's protected, which is massive. And we already talked about how the A1 is good. So from a kit perspective, this champion is really solid. And then you look over here at the base stats, and not the highest attack certainly in the game, but not god awful. Good defense for an attack based champion. Good HP in this second form. The speed is not horrible, not incredible, but like overall, I look at this champ and I'm like, damn, this champ should be really, really, really good. So I am surprised that the reviews are not 4 9s or 5s across the board. But anyway, let's talk about how to build her. So that's the kit. The kit is pretty awesome. Let's talk about the best ways to build her. Let's start first and foremost with there she is with the relic. I've got a cat's gaze on here. Surprise, surprise. I'm trying to maximize the secondary form, the attack based form. So I do think cat's gaze is probably your best way to go. You can go with some other stuff. You could certainly go. You can always go with a wand. A wand is almost never a bad choice. If you're building her in support form and you're trying to do resistance, you could go with a Volcardic Heart, but then I think you're going to miss out on those attack benefits. You can also go with the new relic, which I don't have yet, which is the Lens of Intangibility, which gives her attack and speed and also potential ignore defense. Now, granted, I still think that Cat's Gaze is probably your best overall bet, but you could absolutely do some of these other things. You could do Lens of Intangibility. You could certainly do something like Stormcaller. You could do Gore Crescent. Basically, any attack-based, relic is going to work on her. Malefic Talon, depending on what you have. All of these are options. They all pretty much work. What is it? Covetous Passion? Sure. Crown of Corruption? Yeah, not really. Not really your best choice. But, a lot of different options you go here. Dread Bomb. Where's the other one I'm thinking of here? Death Dealer, absolutely. So a lot of different options, but for me, Cat's Gaze, the best way to go. Gemstones wise, Bloodthirsty Prowess absolutely could be a great option for her. You could do something like, what else? Constant Onslaught, not a bad idea. Sharpened Riposte would be phenomenal, where it deals 50% more damage when counterattacking. That should already stack with her counterattack damage. So this could be a really nasty one for her. Big time. All of these triangles, a lot of them are really damn good. Multi-hit skills, absolutely could do Rolling Force. Certainly could do attacking prowess. There's a lot of different options in this side of the thing as well. I think your best options are like Bloodthirsty Prowess, certainly Sharpened Riposte. What else here? Where's the one that's like Unrelenting Power? Yep, sure, absolutely. Quick Strike works depending on how fast you build her. I'm looking again more at her as an attacking champion because I do think that's the best part of her kit. And the other thing to talk about is the fact because it's on the second form, you're not worried about getting locked out from a team that's faster than you. That's really important. If you're going with a revive form, of course, things like Revival's Boon or what else? Heal and Go. I guess you're not. You're healing with the A1, but I wonder if that would actually work. Active skill. No, it probably wouldn't. I don't know. I think her second form is the way to go. I think her first form is good and it still works in battle even when you're building her for that second form. But I would build her more for damage and as a damage dealer, at least from my experience so far. So those are some of the options. Let's talk now about her masteries. Got to find her again. You'll also notice I don't have her awakened at all. She's sitting here with no souls on her, so we definitely don't have the max stats that we would want. From a blessing perspective, I think you're probably going Lightning Cage. If you're building her as a damage dealer, you're going to try to get Stone Skin on her, make sure it doesn't get stripped. Now, granted, she's going to have some resistance, but she's not going to be built solely for resistance. We're going to get into that in a second. You could also use her in PVE for sure. For Hydra, you could use her with something like Cruelty with those counterattacks. You could also use her with Crushing Rend if you have a 6-star. Polymorph, almost never a bad idea. Can absolutely change the face of a battle. But I think for me, we're going Lightning Cage when I do get a soul, which I don't have one yet. And then in terms of masteries, we're heading over here. We're going down the offense tree. Helm Smasher, surprise, surprise. I did get methodical. I want to increase that A1 damage. Very, very, very important. You can absolutely make an argument to go down the defense tree. But I didn't, because I don't think you necessarily need extra counterattack. She's putting that counterattack buff on herself. It is protected. So she should be counterattacking a lot as is. So I don't think you need this. And so for that reason, I decided to go down the support tree because I wanted her to have a little more flexibility in terms of that first form being a little bit better. Having longer buffs potentially with lasting gifts, as well as another chance to get her cooldowns back faster with Cycle of Magic. So I went support, but certainly offense is going to be your number one option for her if you're building her as a damage dealer. I did go Cycle of Violence. Again, I really like Cycle of Violence for trying to get skills back faster, but I did go Ruthless Ambush with her to up that damage on that secondary hit. Whirlwind of Death, of course, could be an option as well. But this is how I have gone in terms of her masteries. Curious to hear if you guys disagree, if there's one that you think is better. But let's take a look at the build now. And this is where it's really, really, really important. She doesn't have a soul on her. That hurts a lot. We need those bonus stats. But I think one of the biggest mistakes that people make with this champion is how they build her in terms of that attack and resistance blend. You'll notice here, her stats aren't crazy, right? Only 41k HP in her first form, only 4,900 attack, 271 speed. I'd love for her to be a little bit faster, but I need that soul to up this stuff. In the secondary form, she's got 6,800 attack, 261 speed, 300% crit damage, which I think is not bad given the fact that she is, without a soul. Now, this is what hurts. I would love to have more resistance on her specifically to unlock those skills. This is where I need the soul. She is definitely not at her full potential. That potential massive 90 boost to resistance would be massive for her kit. But I think the biggest mistake that people make is they build her with way more resistance than they build her with attack. And if you look at her multipliers, that is a mistake. Yes, you need to unlock this second form by having enough resistance to have more than your opponent. That is important. But if you're building her with predominantly resistance, she doesn't do as much damage. And I'm going to show you what I mean just by looking at the multiplier. So let me pull it up here on Hell Hades' website, and you can see what I'm talking about. Because it was one of those things when I started building her, I was like, you know what? Let me just take a look and just make sure that she actually would benefit from what I think she would benefit from. Okay, you should be able to see the screen here, and let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you look, I'm not looking at her first form in terms of damage because it's not meant to be the damage form. But if we look at her secondary form, look at the way it works. It's attack times resistance divided by 1,000. You're just not going to get nearly as much value out of increasing resistance as you will increasing attack. And that's the same for all three of her abilities. So you need to have attack on this champion. You need resistance too, because you want to get these ignore damage things to unlock by having more resistance than your enemy, but you have to build this champion with attack. If you do not build them with attack, they are going to hit like a wet noodle. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, guys. Do not build her with immense amounts of resistance and no attack because she's not going to do damage. You have to have attack and resistance in that order. So all that being said, let's take a look at the build again. And we'll break down essentially what we've done here. So I do have her in Savage Stone Skin. You can go Lethal Stone Skin, Savage Stone Skin. I think those probably make the most sense for her. Maybe Feral Savage, depending on how you're building her. But she doesn't have like guaranteed stay alive stuff. So I think probably Savage Stone Skin, Lethal Stone Skin is the way to go. Take one last quick look at the forms. Base form, this is her healing form. She's not super tanky. So we're really building her again more as a damage dealer. And the biggest thing that I really want to see on her, besides more attack and more speed, is just more resistance. I would love to get her up to 400 to 500 resistance without compromising attack. So that's where we want her to go. It's just going to take some time to get there. Anyway, though, all of that being said, let's take her into Dragon. Let's see how she does. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I didn't even show you the pieces. My God, I'm out of practice here, boys. I'm out of practice. Let me show you the pieces. We got some speed. This is the other thing that I think really makes it hard to build her. I don't know about you, but usually when I'm collecting pieces over the last 5 years or so, I sell a lot of the pieces that have resistance on them. So that's the other thing that's made it really challenging to build her is I don't have a ton of pieces that have resistance on them that let me really boost her stats up a crazy amount. Now that's just a matter of like there wasn't an attack resistance based champion. So that's the reason for that. It's why that soul on her is so important because you need that bonus. You need that bonus whatchamacallit resistance. She gets, what is it, 60, 90 extra resistance. So I need a soul on her for the crit damage, but also for the resistance because I can't get the same level of gear on her that I would get on other champions in terms of boosting her secondary stat. Now, this is still not bad gear at all. Like you can see, there's still some pretty damn good gear on here that's boosted up as much as I can get because I pulled it off of other champions, but I'm very much at the mercy of what I have that has resistance on it. And there's not a lot of stuff that's built for both attack and resistance currently in my roster. So moving forward, I'm going to be trying to save those pieces. And if you have this champion, you should do that as well. But anyway, let's take her into Dragon and let's see what she does quickly. Into the Dragon's Lair, on to normal, on to stage 23. And let's see what she does. So let's get our girl Joan in here. Let's get here. We'll put somebody like, I don't know, Shuzhen, Arbiter. Why am I struggling to figure somebody out? Here we go. Do this. We'll do Lydia, the normal testing ground for your boy. Really curious to see how she hits, especially without a soul. We have to keep that in mind. She's missing a lot of stats right now. I don't know why I'm bothering to try to search for this when I can just type it in. There we go. Okay. Let's see what she does. Really curious here. Really curious. How does Joan hit without a soul? Again, without a soul. Very, 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 very important. No soul means a lot less damage. All right, switch into the second form. She's metamorphing. Boom. She's freaking huge, by the way. Look at how absurdly large she is. And look at that. Counterattack buff already up because her turn ended. So she's counterattacking all the time. But let's start with the A3. Shield, block damage, A3, we should have more resistance, so this will get the 35% ignore defense. 197, one something, so it's like 200K hit, 600K. Not bad, man. That's pretty damn good, especially considering that it ignores block damage, ignores, unkillable, and on top of that, she doesn't have a soul on her. That's a pretty good hitting A3, guys. For the way I look at it, I think that's pretty damn good. Now, granted, we're getting that 35% ignore defense boost because of the fact that I know we have more resistance than these champions, but still, in my world, that's a pretty damn hard hitting A3. And the fact that it blocks revive potentially, and on top of that is a triple hitter, so you can get around nice and ignores block damage and unkillable. That's really good. That by itself is worth the kit. Now we got the AoE. This steals the turn meter. This should get damage increase of 35%, and she gets a block damage after this. So let's see how this works. 240, 345. So, okay, this isn't like a super hard hitting AoE by any stretch of the imagination. I would characterize it as decent or okay. Again, would get a lot better with more stats. The fact that we don't have that soul really hurting her here. But the utility of this is the fact that she keeps her counterattack buff and then she gets the block damage. So now that A1 can really go to town, right? And that A1 should hit pretty hard. Let's actually find out. Let's do it again. So overall, the AoE, not incredible, but that A3, really, really, really strong from my perspective. So let's do it again. We got increased attack on her. Why did I slow it down? I don't know. Here we go. Decrease. Let's switch forms. Let's try the A1. Now, this will get stronger and stronger over time every time she counterattacks, right? But she deals double damage when counterattacking, so we're not going to get that here, of course. But let's just see. What does she do with the A1? It's pretty nice A1, guys. Pretty nice A1, man. Okay? To AoE, individual, everyone's treated as if they're getting hit single damage. The fact that she gets more ignore defense, it's not bad. That is not a bad AO1 at all, especially with the counterattack aspect. Nice. Very nice. I think that's a solid A1. Very good A1 that gets stronger and stronger over time with methodical as well. Let's boost her up. Let's get one more. Oh, well, I think Lydia's going to do. Nope, she didn't do quite enough. Let's try the A1 again, see what it does. Oh, we didn't counterattack, so it's actually not going to do more damage. Yeah, we'll try it again, though. Why not? What do we get here? Boom, 247. We did get a little more damage because of methodical, I think. But okay, overall, kit-wise, it's hard to judge when they don't have a soul, but I think that A3 is a barn burner. Like that A3 is a damn good ability. And the A2 is solid as well with that block damage. I think she could be really annoying in arena, but let's find out. We're in platinum. Let's take her in. Now, Marius is a tricky one, right? Marius here is a tricky one because we're not going to have, where is Joan? We're not going to have the, like the ability to switch forms can be tricky. Now we have her in Stone Skin, of course, to counteract that. Let's also do, what are we going to do here? Got to get these buffs off. This is the only tricky thing, right? You know what we can actually do here? Let's use this. Let's go off this. Let's go with a Crixia instead. She might not be fast enough, actually. This might be a bad call. But why not? Let's do that, and we'll do... we'll do Odin just for giggles. Let's just see here. It's kind of a weird team. Okay. Now, the reason why I like using my Lazarius is because I have a Chronic Cube on him, so I get a second turn a lot of the time. Not 100% of the time, but a lot of the time. I mean, this should be an easy clap, even though we're in platinum. Like, frankly, I really would be really surprised if we don't lock it down. But let's just see. Let's try. Should we try the A1 first? The block damage? Why not? Technically, we should lead with the A2. So let's go with the A2 so we get the block damage up. Yeah, it certainly did enough damage when you have decreased defense up. But that's also not a super strong team. Here we go. This is a great option. Lower level, though. But certainly a Neve would be great to test against. Ooh, we could test her against the Turtles. It's early in the week, so a lot of these teams aren't super strong. See if we can get a stronger team here. Hilvy teams. I haven't had a chance to test Hilvy yet. Got to do that. Anything else? Commodus. Okay, you know what? Why not? This works. Sure. Nell, Galathier, Marichka, and Taurus. Sure. Why not? Oh, yes, absolutely. Look at all the exciting buffs up. And we become a sheep. Now we're in deep shit. Oh, wait, we're back. Never mind. Chrono Cube, go. Yes, there we are. All right, we're definitely using the A2 ability. I'll tell you that much. Oh, no, we're going to get stripped? We did, of course. Of course. This is the Stone Skin and the... Oh, we don't have Lightning Cage, though. I was like, the Lightning Cage. But no, we don't have Lightning Cage. Got to remember what we're doing here. Well, now we get a chance to test her first form for damage. This isn't meant to do damage, but... Hey, we did it anyway. We did it anyway. Nice. We'll take it. Can we get back around? Probably not. I think we might be cooked here. I think we might be dead, guys. Yeah, we're cooked. Once we got stripped there, it was game over. Hold on, let's go again. And this time around, we'll do a little more speed in here so we can make sure we go first. And I think go first is still a valid strategy, by the way. I mean, certainly they've made it a lot harder with, the guard set or whatever the hell it's called. So there's a lot more challenges when it comes to trying to go first. Our Lazarius is going to die here. Yep, that's fine. We might not be faster than this Galathier again. We might be running into a problem where it's just not fast enough quite yet. But hey, we got the second turn. We'll take that. Switch forms. Okay. Block damage. Oh, no, we cooked ourselves because the Nell. The poison cooked us before we had a chance to do it. This is a scenario here where I just wish we were a little bit faster. But here, we'll switch this around one more time. And we'll do... you know what? We can actually do this. And we'll still roll with Crixia to lock out. All right, let's try this. We're going to make this work. I think. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. We'll see. Nell is doing some nice work here. She gonna die from the poison? I hope not. Yep, she did. Okay. I'm trying to showcase this, but it's not working great. Is it the steel turn meter that's killing me? I think that's what it is. It's actually the steel turn meter that's actually getting me killed here. Because she's getting the turn meter boost, and all of a sudden with the turn meter boost, she just immediately dies. So that's actually interesting. So Nell is kind of a hard counter for her, unless you can get like protection up on her right away. Right? Like right away, got to get it up, but absolutely can be a hard counter. All right, let's do this. Block damage. I love to see that. Now let's see the counterattack go. This is my first time using her really in Arena. I have not used her a lot in Arena at all. So this is a good example of like trying to figure out how to make her work live on camera for you guys. Now, how does this block revive again? Has lower resistance than this champion. Okay, so can we kill somebody that has lower resistance? Basically, can we kill Taurus here? Let's find out. We did, and we got the block revive, and that was without increased attack or any kind of decreased defense. I'll take that, and there's the counter attack. Nice. And Taurus, God knows, one of the hardest champions to actually kill. So I will 100% take that. That was great. At A3 is legit, man, especially with her not having a soul. I think my camera's been wigging out for the last 10 minutes, so God only knows. We'll try to finish this battle and then restart it for the next turn. A1 does damage, man. A1 does damage. I'm still going to probably lose this because of the Nell. Yeah, we're cooked. That's okay, though. Hold on. Let's reset the camera. Okay, I think we're back, and hopefully my camera didn't screw up too long in these battles. You never know. Like, you get so into the battle, you just don't know what's going on. But Nell is kicking our ass in this battle. But long story short, let's do another one. Let's try. I wish there were some nice teams. I really want to find a nice, which I think would be a good one. But here, we can actually do Neve. Neve works great for the block damage. So let's try that. Let's try a Neve here and see how it feels. How's it feel? I don't know if anybody watches the NFL, by the way. Let me know in the comments down below. Tough week for my NFL team. I am a Jaguars fan, if you didn't know. And we lost. It hurts. It hurts bad. But proud of our boys. They worked very hard. They did their best. All right. I should probably just nuke with the A3 here and try to get the block revive. I think that's what I'm going to do, actually. Oh, we didn't get it, unfortunately. Okay, well, we might have screwed ourselves here. We might be in trouble. The Donatello kept us alive. I was hoping we'd have enough damage to kill the Leonardo, but the Donatello cooked us. Let's reset. I still need to make a turtle video, a turtle team. There's so much stuff I still need to do. I just really appreciate, by the way, guys, really appreciate just you guys sticking with me while I work through all this health stuff. It is truly just a blessing that people are giving me an opportunity to try to get better. Interestingly enough, didn't have enough resistance to get the block revive there. So this just goes to show I need more resistance on this hero for sure. We got to get more. Got to get more resistance. But hey, the Crixia locking out is nice. Think we win this one? Yeah, look at that A1, dude. That A1 hits real nice. Really nice A1. Okay, we're good. We can go full auto. We'll let him clean it up. I feel like this champion has the potential to be really damn good. I mean, I feel like she could be someone that you could see in the meta. Maybe I'm off base. Oh, we literally dropped out of platinum too because of how many fights we lost here. But I feel like she has that potential, right? Maybe I'm off base. Maybe I'm not aligned on this. Oh, here we go. Here's a nice, perfect. Lower level team, but still a nice. We'll take it. But I just feel like the kid is too good. I really wish I had a soul on her because I think that would make such a massive impact in terms of damage and what she's able to do. It's a shame that I don't have the soul, but as they say, it kind of is what it is, right? So, all right, let's lead off with the A2. All right, we did trigger the passive. Whoops. That's a pretty weak nice, though, frankly. I'm not going to hold you. That's kind of a weak nice. Like the A3, the triple hit is really good. I mean, this team wasn't super strong, which is to be expected. Let's try a turtle team. These teams are nightmares. These damn turtles, man. Do we get owned here? Probably. I don't think I have enough stripping or buff decrease. Maybe I should try to use her first form a little bit too, just for giggles. God, man, Leonardo is just so disgusting. My lord, dude. The damage that he puts out on that counterattack is just something absolutely insane. Look at that, bro. We got absolutely cooked. All right, we got the block revive there. I like that. I think I'm actually going to try to decrease the turn meter here. Got the lockout. That's big. Raphael absolutely ripping me apart, bro. The turtles. But we managed to get it done. And that was a nice, juicy hit at the end. So we can beat a turtle team. Granted, we have to have a lot of teams around. What's this? We got a Predator here, not a super strong team. Another turtle team. You know, like a strong, nice team. Empress is the wrong affinity. Back in Platinum, but there aren't high-end teams at the moment because of when I'm recording. Well, this could maybe work. Yeah, sure. Why not? Amarius, Carnage, Crixia. Absolutely. Absolutely, guys. Get our lockout. Do we get our strip? Did a little bit of stripping. Switch forms. We get to make sure we don't get owned. Man, that Marius does some disgusting damage. My God. Bro's cooking. The block damage on the A2 is so useful with the counterattack. Like here we are. We're going to get drilled by the Empress, but we chilling. We big chilling. And then that was the A1, guys. That was the A1 that just did 144K. Hell to the yes. That freaking A1. Oh my lord, the A3. If you have more resistance, this champion really can do some damage. I like this champion. I'm going to use her for sure once I get a soul. That's the biggest thing. I just need the soul, man. The soul is so hard to get because they won't put mythical souls in the shop because they were trying to force people to buy, which is really frustrating. But let's try one more Nell team just so I can enjoy getting owned again. But man, that soul makes such a big difference. Makes such a big difference. Maybe I just hold off. Just boost normally. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, awesome. We got that's big. I highly doubt I'm going to have more resistance, but all right. We didn't die this time when we used the A2 first. I was curious to see. So we didn't have enough resistance to get these guaranteed, basically these guaranteed strips. Do we have enough resistance to kill the Taurus? Didn't get the block revive, so he's got more resistance than me. But the damage is still really good, right? Like the damage is not bad at all. Either way, I'm adding poisons here. Can we get the win on the Nell Taurus? Can we do it? Drop the nuke. There's the counterattack. Boom. That counterattack is awesome. I like this champion a lot. I'm not going to lie. I like this champion a ton. I think this champion could absolutely be something you see used in live arena, used in the meta. I think this champion is hard to build, at least for 99% of accounts that are out there, because I just don't think a lot of people have a ton of resistance, really good resistance savage pieces. And that makes it hard, right? That makes it hard to make this champion reach their full potential. But all that being said, I think their kit is great. I mean, should I try to show off the, let's show off the first form. Why not? Why not? We'll do one battle where we do her as a first form. She's not built for that really at all. So we'd have to get uh, a different damage dealer in here. But let's just try. Here we go. Nice. Fabian. So we're going to use her as our reviver. And we'll use like Marius. I feel like Marius just going to wipe everybody out. I think this is pointless, but why not? Let's try. It's so good to see you guys, by the way. You have no idea how much I have missed doing this. Like, you have no idea. Health problems, guys. I don't know if I should mention it every video because I'm sure people are tired of hearing it, but it's what I'm going through. You know what I mean? It's what I'm going through. I've never gone through anything like this in my life. I've had plenty of health problems, but not stuff like this. So, okay. Removes all debuffs from all allies, places increased resistance. I wish you could just use this as its own instant turn. That would be truly broken, but we'll keep her in the first form. Ooh, nice, still alive here. Enfeeble clutch. Clutch enfeeble. Saved my bacon right there. Dude, she does enough damage in the first form with the A1 to actually kill an ice. I mean, granted, he had very low HP, but that's kind of cool, actually. That's kind of cool for like a reviver to be able to hit hard enough in the first form to actually put down an ice in their second form. Not a super strong team, but still kind of cool. I mean, you get the gist. Like, I don't think you use this champion specifically only in their first form. I really think their second form is just that much better. But I do think their first form is situationally good. And I do think that when you have a soul, they become a lot better. She's just not tanky enough for a reviver. That's the problem. I think that's where you're kind of let down here, where you can't really build her super tanky like you would a reviver because she's an attack-based champion. But then again, would that make her absolutely broken? Probably not. There's some really broken champions in this game, but I don't know, guys. I like her a lot. I mean, for me, she's a 5 when it comes to arena, at least. And I think you can make an argument that she is pretty good in Hydra as a damage dealer as well because of that counterattack. Why don't we do that actually? I want to put her on my Hydra team. We'll just run a quick key just for the full coverage, the full Drock showcase experience here. Now, again, she doesn't have the same stats. She's not super well built compared to other champions, but just out of curiosity, how does she stack up? I really need to redo my Hydra teams at some point. It's been on the list of stuff to do for quite a while. Just hasn't happened. First choice. They really need to work on the AI for mythical champions too. Like, my God, some of the AI is just terrible. But let's give her a shot. Let's just see. Quick battle on auto. Where's she end up with the counterattacks? I'm really curious. Not great. That was not good. 37 million. I mean, she doesn't have crushing rend. She doesn't have a blessing. She's missing a lot of stats. I feel like she would absolutely do more closer to Michinaki damage or higher if she were fully built correctly for Hydra. But that is actually surprising that it was this bad. I thought it would be a lot higher. So interesting. Let me look at her kit one last time. We switched her in the right form, right? Didn't we have her in the right form? Let's take one last quick look here. Pretty sure I put her in the right form, but now I'm like, did I screw this up? Let's just oh my God. Yeah, that would be why. I didn't put her in the right form. Thank God that I caught this. Oh my Lord. First choice. There we go. Okay. There we go. Professional. Well, not really professional, but former professional content creator here. My God. All right, let's try this again. This time, she's got to do better. Right? Surely. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, sir. She damn good for Hydra. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I was like, how the shit is she this bad in Hydra? But she did 37 million as a reviver. She did 37 million as the freaking healer. She did 115 million as the nuker without a soul, without crushing rend, without anything, without even a god tier build. And probably for Hydra, you'd build her with a little more resistance, I think. You know, like you'd need to have higher resistance, I think, than the heads. So your build would change a little bit there, where you'd have a little less attack, a lot more resistance for that build. But damn, dude, that's a huge change. She's a good champion, guys. I don't know. For me, she's a 5-0. 5-0 Hydra, 5-0 Arena. I think she just needs a lot of stats. And unfortunately, I can't quite give her what she needs. And she does need, you know, blessings and all that stuff. But for me, Joan the Luminant, aka Joan the Arc, it's the Drock stamp of approval. So let me know in the comments down below, guys. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are you happy to see me back? Did you miss me? If you made it to the end of the video and you missed me, maybe put something sweet like Big Daddy in the comments or something like that. If you made it all the way to the end, as always, like, subscribe, hype, all that fun stuff. But just really want to say thanks, guys. Thanks for being patient with me. Please know, honest to God, bottom of my heart, I'm really trying everything I can and spending every penny I can on trying to get better. I mean, really, it's been a rough 6 months for me, and I wish that I had better news, and I wish that I felt normal and could do the same kind of content I used to do and stream. But just know I really am doing everything I can to try to get back to being 100% me. And your support, whether it's in comments or watching videos or sharing or liking or subscribing or even just jumping in the Discord to say hello, it truly means the world to me. And I hope you know that. So anyway, guys, I love you all. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I can't wait to read the comments down below. I'll catch y'all later. Big Papa Drock.